think those guys, presumably, if they had no symptoms, could maybe fly up Sunday and be active. So, is there any plan like that?
Yeah, as far as to my knowledge, if those guys meet that 5-day window, they're eligible to come back. The only thing I don't think they could fly with us. I think they're going to fly there on their own. And I don't know if the team's going to do something towards that or if they pay for it themselves. That's probably out of my realm right now. But if they meet that 5-day window, they are eligible to return.
Have you talked to Bruce at all to know how he's doing? Or
I talked to him last night. I haven't talked to him today. Usually I call him after practice, but yesterday he sounded really good. So there's probably a chance that he makes it back. Always want our leader around. He's the head guy. So if we can get him back and keep our mojo going.
Thanks, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Next, we'll go to Jenna Lane.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good. What's wrong? You're not dressed, Jenna? You're not on the screen.
Oh, God, no, I'm in a hotel room in New York. I flew up early. What, you want to see my face? Hold on. I got you. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Hotel lighting, you never know, especially when you get to be over the age of 30. It might make you look bad. So
Gotcha.
I saw you guys activated Mike Evans off the COVID list.
Yes.
What have you been able to see from him? Are there any concerns about stamina for him, or how's he doing health-wise?
He was out there a little bit today. Got to, did some individuals, a few things offensively. There's a chance he may play. At the end of the day, it'll probably be a game time decision between myself, Jason, and if B is around, obviously he'll most likely be a part of that decision as well. But Mike looked good today, so hopefully cross our fingers he might be out there.
I know you have a lot of guys that are questionable right now with injuries and stuff. Is there anybody that you feel confident will be able to return this week, or are those decisions still being made?
I think those decisions still being made. I think right now Shaq and JPP are the only two that are out.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Scott Reynolds. If any media have questions, please raise your hand.
What's up, Scott?
Hey, Goody, how you doing?
Good, sir.
To ask you about the offensive line bouncing back last week against the Panthers and getting the running game going and providing the protection for Brady. Just speak about how they're geared up for this game against the Jets.
They know it's a big game because we're trying to get to that magic number where we have that possibility of getting that second seed. So we got to win these two games, and they know they got to play well. They know obviously we have some issues as far as skill players, going in and out as far as injuries and things of that nature. So we just got to play up to our level, play the way we're capable, and give Tom a good pocket. And when we run it, just make sure we give holes to the backs. The backs will do a great job running protection, and we just got to give them opportunity to do their job.
And then with the three of your guys making the Pro Bowl list, just speak to that as someone who's been around these guys, from day one, coaching a guy like Wirfs and seeing him achieve what he probably should have achieved last year as a rookie, but to have these guys in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, me and Joe Gilbert are like two proud dads. We're two old, crusty dads, but we're still two proud dads. But, Allie's probably a guy that should have been making it for years. He's been consistent throughout his career, even starting as a young guy. And for him to finally get that recognition, I'm so happy for him because he deserves it. Ryan Jensen works his butt off. He is as you guys know, our number one hit guy as far as the way he plays the game. The referees come up to him before every game and warn him about being overly aggressive. And I'm trying not to take that away from him. And then Tristan, we all know how he played last year, and he deserved to be on there last year, but he's been consistent throughout his 2 years in the NFL, and hopefully we can maintain him there, and hopefully he keeps climbing, and maybe possibly way down the road, possibly be a Hall of Fame player.
Is it safe to say that Donovan Smith should have been on that list too?
Yes, but we can't be greedy. They're not going to give us all five of the guys, even though I think I got the best line in the league.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We'll go back to Rick Stroud.
Harold, were you guys are important every week, right, on the offensive line. I mean, that goes without saying. But were you proud of the way, given that you were down so many receivers, you came out, 3 tight ends, you put it on their backs, right, and they responded.
Yeah, we did. And the crazy thing about our line, they're greedy. They always want to run the ball. But I was like, hey, we got a lot of good receivers. We got a lot of good skill players. We can't run it every time. But going into last week's game, I'm like, hey, Byron's probably going to put this thing on your shoulders, and you guys got to respond, and they did. And, anything that Byron calls, we were able to execute, be it run or pass, and we just got to be ready to go. But last week we did lean a little bit heavier on the run side, especially using 2 tight ends, 3 tight end type formations.
Thanks.
We'll go to JC Allen.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the backs and their pass protection and everything like that. Le'Veon Bell now has a full week in the system going up against his former team. What have you seen out of him and his progression and learning the offense, and if there's a bigger role in store for him going forward?
Yeah, he's done a great job. Obviously last week coming in on a short notice, it was probably a little difficult for him. We tried to get him some snaps at the end of the game. I'm not quite sure, but I would think Byron's going to probably try to get him a little bit more involved. Obviously all our backs we think are top notch, and having him being in the fold is good for us. Especially down the long haul here, getting close to the playoffs. So I think he's game ready. We'll see how it goes.
We have time for a few more. We'll go back to Jeneline.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned a few minutes ago that JPP would be out. I know he was out this past week. To your knowledge, did he suffer any type of a setback with a shoulder injury? Are you guys just trying to preserve him a little bit? What's going on there, if you're able to answer?
I'm not quite sure because I don't know all the ins and outs. I just know he's been out here working out the last couple of days. I know for a fact he was here yesterday conditioning, trying to keep his body in shape. I know he's banged up. He's not a young spring chicken anymore. So at the end of the day, we just need to try to take care of him. And hopefully he comes back when we touch the playoffs and play like he did towards the end of last year to that Super Bowl run.
And you mentioned about the multi-tight end use last week. You talked already about the blocking efforts of your offensive line, but what about that group? And even a guy like Josh Wells coming in there and kind of being that extra blocker. Can you just speak to what those guys were able to do to help you in the run game?
They've done a great job. Last week we did a lot of things to attack the edges. You saw that the run that Sneak had for the 55 yards. Tight ends did a great job of collapsing everything down. And I don't know if you guys noticed, we ran a couple more plays where we pulled guys out on the edge. And that gets started by the tight ends doing a great job on the edge securing it so the guards can get around the corner. So they've been fabulous. And, obviously they were making plays in the throwing game as well. Didn't quite get into them as much last week in the throw game, but hopefully they come back and do a great job this week as far as getting the ball out, getting the ball as a receiver, excuse me.
Last question will come from Greg Allman.
Hey, Goody. I hope you're doing well. I just want to check with you. Sure. Want to share with you on Antonio Brown. I know he had been limited and then held out of practice. He's coming back from that ankle. Just want to ask you if he had a setback or if he's in good shape for Sunday.
I think he might have tweaked it a little bit. I don't know the severity of it, but he still has a chance to play on Sunday. Obviously, he's no spring chicken either, so we got to do a great job of taking care of him. At the long run, as we look at this thing, there's a long way to go from where we're trying to go. So we just got to make sure we got all hands on deck when we need them. But he has a chance to play this weekend as well.
Excellent. Thanks very much.
Yep.
The last one will come from Scott Reynolds.
But he just wanted to see what this week has been like for you. I know it's kind of unexpected to kind of become the head coach in this situation. You'd love to be out there, I know, but just to, as someone who has head coaching aspirations to quote unquote play head coach for a week, did you have a chance to walk around, to be kind of a walk around coach? I know, you and Gilbert have to work the offensive line in practice, but if you can just spend a minute or two talking about, your role in the meetings and on the field and what this experience has been like for you, although unexpected.
Yeah, it's been fun. As far as walking around the field, no, that's not me. Because at the end of the day, I had to take care of my job, and that's making sure the O-line's right. And plus, we have two good coordinators on offense and defense, and Todd and Barrett, and then we had Keith. So really and truly, they know how to run their ship, and I just stayed out of the way. And at the end of the day, all I did was control the team meeting, control any decision that needed to be made between myself and the trainer, or if Jason needed me. And I just made sure I had the post-practice walk-up as far as everybody coming up and saying a few words to break practice down.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Goody.
All right, that's all we have time for. Appreciate taking the time, Coach.
See you guys later.